So the big question is Islamic Revolution dead? It has definitely turned dynastic. Has it forgotten its ideals of 1975 when they fought the dynasty, and now the revolution itself has turned dynastic? Because Iran has entered a new and a controversial chapter in its history. Tehran has named Mojtaba Khamenei, the son of slain supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, as the country's new supreme leader. For the first time since the 1979 Islamic Revolution, the leadership of the Islamic Republic has effectively passed from father to son. And that raises a fundamental question. Has the Islamic Republic become the very monarchy it once overthrew? The revolution of 1979 toppled the Shah and promised to end hereditary rule in Iran forever. Power, the revolutionaries said, would belong to the people and not to dynasties. But today that promise is under scrutiny. Mojtaba Khamenei has long operated in the shadows of power. He rarely appeals in public. He rarely speaks, yet within Iran's inner circle he has been deeply influential. For years he reportedly coordinated security and military affairs from his father's office. He is known to have close ties with the powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps that dominates Iran's military, politics and economy. And in the middle of the war with the United States of America and Israel, Iran's clerical establishment appears to have closed ranks. The Assembly of Experts, 88 senior clerics, chose Mojtaba Khamenei, even as Israel strikes continue across the country. Supporters say the choice ensures continuity and stability in wartime. Critics say something very different. They say the Islamic Revolution has turned dynastic, so the big questions are clear. Has Iran's revolution come a full circle? Will Mojtaba Khamenei rule differently from his father? And what does this mean for the war with Israel and the United States of America? On this issue, I am joined by Ambassador Prabhu Dayal, former Indian diplomat, and Dr. Zakir Hussain, Middle East Affairs expert and ex-research fellow, Indian Council of World Affairs. Let me straight away go to Ambassador Dayal first. So my question is, does killing of the top leader lead to the collapse of command structure in Iran?
No, I don't think it leads to the sort of toppling of the command structure. Because let's face it, Iran has a very well-knit clergy, and that is still intact despite the assassination of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And at the same time, the IRGC is also very well organized, and that is the real force in Iran. So while Ayatollah Khamenei and some of his top commanders and top associates may have been assassinated, with the IRGC and the top clergy continuing to wield authority, the regime is quite intact and will count as a political force of great consequence. Now, let me also mention that in your introductory comments, you referred to certain, insinuations or certain allegations or accusations that the new system is also somewhat dynastic. Now, the 1979 Islamic Revolution in Iran overthrew the Pahlavi dynasty and replaced it with the Islamic Republic. This revolution had been led by Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and it ended 2,500 years of monarchical rule in Iran. Now, despite its anti-monarchical origins, the Iranian political system is now facing accusations of becoming dynastic in its own right. And this is because Mojtaba Khamenei has been officially named the third supreme leader of the Islamic Republic by the Assembly of Experts. Now, Mojtaba Khamenei is not an Ayatollah. He currently holds the rank of Hujjatul Islam, which is a level below the rank of Ayatollah. So this move introduces a sort of hereditary element to the theocratic system. He has been appointed the supreme leader. because of the fact that in hereditary terms, he comes after Ayatollah Khamenei. Now, this is a departure from the earlier system, where Ayatollah Khamenei, who was not descended from Ayatollah Khomeini, had become the supreme leader. So now Mujtaba's rise also signals that hardliners remain in control. He was very close behind the scenes to the hardliners and the IRGC. So people feel that with deep ties to the IRGC and the country's intelligence apparatus, Mojtaba Khamenei has become the supreme leader. And in fact, many feel that the real power will continue to rest with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps.
Okay, so that was my second question to Dr. Hussain. That is, supreme leader's survival relevant to the perpetuation of the power structure, because anyhow they have divided the entire country into 31 commands. Despite decapitation of Khamenei and subsequently Mujtaba getting hurt, 31 IRGC commanders are working independently.
Before him it was. After the death of Khamenei, until his selection, all the 31 were the modus operandi through which they are working. It gave sense that they were working independently, autonomously, and with less coordination. And this was also not possible to establish a control and command at one place when there was heavy bombardment and targeting of the top brass of the Iranian regime. So, but now what I feel that with this selection of Mujtaba, a couple of message has been delivered. Number one, there is a continuity of the system as well as the war which Iran and others are fighting. It will have a long duration capacity. One, this is continuity message gives this. Second, control. Now, Mujtaba is going to control the overall system, and the 31 IRGC command may also be behaving in a unison. And third, that legitimacy. That the legitimacy, he has also given the signal that
Dr. Hussain, let me ask you this question. Why have they chosen him? They could have chosen any other person with that degree of knowledge or command of the system. Why did they choose him?
I consider him as a wartime head, just like Churchill.
Are you saying are you saying this is a temporary arrangement, but then leaders are for their lifetime?
He may be targeted. Thereafter, if he proves his mettle, people may accept him fully. Otherwise, the administration and the setup has fully backed him, and he is there to stay in power and continue the threat posed by Israel and the statement that Trump president said that he will not accept him. So it is a kind of determination from Iranian side by choosing Mujtaba. And he has a very close relation with IRGC and other paraphernalia of the state which are continuing in the war.
Okay, Ambassador, what is your opinion? Why was he chosen? I mean to say, what is the message? Is the message of continuity, but why him?
Because of the fact that he had developed very close links with the IRGC. His father was the supreme leader. And Mojtaba Khamenei, from what I have come to know, has been playing a very active and important behind the scenes role. So while his aged father was the face of the regime, there were a lot of important people who were playing important roles behind the scenes, and he was foremost among them. So now what is being suspected and what is being said is that while the 1979 revolution was designed to end the dynastic rule, a new form of political dynasty, specifically centered around the supreme leader and the IRGC, has emerged. And so this revolution effectively replaced a pro-Western, secular, autocratic monarchy with a revolutionary, anti-Western, theocratic one.
Are we looking at another North Korea? I mean, so it's an example I'm quoting, or another Syria, Ambassador, there?
Well, let's see how things play out. Dr. Zakir Hussain mentioned that things are in great turmoil, which indeed they are. So, given the circumstances, perhaps he was felt, the clergy and the assembly of experts felt that he was the most suitable person to handle things in this very critical time. But now that he is appointed supreme leader, he's there to stay, as Dr. Zakir Hussain said. He can't be removed by the Assembly of Experts because that power doesn't rest with the Assembly of Experts. Of course, what happens in the war situation, who gets targeted, who survives this very critical sort of situation, one doesn't know. But at the moment, he has been chosen the supreme leader because of expediency, because he was acceptable to the IRGC and also to the Assembly of Experts, and both felt that he would be the best person to lead Iran in these very difficult circumstances.
Dr. Hussain, then in what way Iran becomes different from Oman, Saudi Arabia? I think only state which is behaving differently is Iraq. They have an elected premier. All other states are dynastic.
No, Iran is quite different from these monarchical state. They are by birth. And here an assembly of expert of 88 people with 8 years long experience can select them with a nominal majority, as well as the candidate must be passed, accepted by the Council of Guardians of 12 members, of which 12% is appointed by the Chief Justice and 12% by the previous Ayatollah. But the Ayatollah Khamenei did. So the Chief Justice, the security personnel, and the Prime Minister, President were there to select the people as a credential, whether they suits. 4 people were in the race, and only he was selected by the assembly through secret ballots. So the process is not like the Gulf monarchs or North Korea. Here ample room is there, and the criteria of selecting is this, that he should be expert in jurisprudence of Shah, that is fiqh. Second, he should be efficient in administration. Third, he should be well aware about political, economic, and social affairs of the region and strategic issues. And on that basis, the person is selected by the Council of Guardians, and then voting takes place. It's a tedious, long process to select. Otherwise, these monarchies have no. We can only doubt that he was the son of Mojtaba.
Okay.
That's why question arises, and USA got a good chance to create propaganda that dynasty is going.
Dr. Hussain, this is an open question to you and also to Ambassador Dayal. Can I say, IRGC that was created to protect the revolution now controls the children of the revolution?
Is it to me or to Dr. Zakir?
Dr. Hussain, and then I'll take the closing comment from you, sir.
Okay.
This happens to everywhere where revolution takes place. At first they come to change the government, then they start ruling their own people who support them. But it's a very tough question to answer. Of course, you have put a very complex question. And if you think that really Iranian regime is controlling its people, we can see that the people, large number of people joined the funeral sessions of the children killed by
I don't want to
by
sit
USA.
as a judge. I don't want to sit as a judge.
So there are various indicators through which we can say that he may not be ruling the children of revolution.
No. My question was very simple. IRGC was created, and this is to the closing comment from Ambassador Prabhu Dayal. IRGC was created to protect the ideals of the revolution, to protect the revolution. So my question to you, sir, is the same organization which was created to protect the ideals of the revolution controls the children of the revolution?
Well, that's an interesting way of putting it. The fact is, Iran is today going through a very difficult situation. It is facing a huge attack by the United States and by Israel. So, although Mr. Mojtaba Khamenei or Hujjat al-Islam Mojtaba Khamenei may hold the title of the leader, the true power in this situation lies with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or the IRGC, and the supreme leader will be only its political and religious face. When things change and we return to a peaceful situation, let's see how the system evolves. But at the moment, he is being installed there so that things can be held in place, and the IRGC is the real fighting force which is handling the ground situation.
Okay.